Okay, here we are on part 10 on horse restart. Now, I had some camera difficulties and took me a little time to get everything set up again. So y'all missed a couple. Y'all missed a session per horse. There's 3 sessions, but it was one session on each of these horses, and I just couldn't stop. Guys were paying me to work their horses, so I couldn't wait till just because I was having technical difficulties with the camera, I couldn't stop. But you didn't miss much. All I did was basically do the same thing I did on the sessions before. I just brought them a little further along on it. So here we are again. If you remember the last one, y'all seen this horse wouldn't back up very well, and you can see now he's starting to back up a lot better than what he was. Now, ultimately, what I want to do is just be able to lift my finger and him back up. Okay. These horses, like a Belgium, is really low on the impulsion scale, so it takes a lot more to get them to react than it does like the warm blood or the quarter horses. So, and that's in general. Some of them are sensitive, most of them aren't. But if you notice right there, he tried to leave again. That's going right back to that lunging stuff. That's why I don't lunge him. It's just a pain to deal with. And there he gave me a little bit, so I asked him to come in. I'll do it again. Start off small. Basically, that's when I want him to react, is right when I pick my finger up. He gave me a little bit, but he's not giving me a whole lot of effort. I'm not going to make that big of a deal out of it. Okay, I'm going to ask him to give me more or give more effort later on. But right now, I just want to keep him thinking. I want him to get a good understanding of what I want him to do, and I want him to know that we're just not making a big deal out of all this stuff. You can stay relaxed. Okay. We'll start upping things and demanding a little more out of him after I know he got it, after I know he understands what we're doing. If you start asking too much out of them too quickly, it makes them bracy. They'll start bracing against it. If you remember, this horse was blocking me from this right side, and you're going to see that coming out a little bit right now. See how he's pulling on that rope a little bit? He's real bracy on that side. He's trying to get further away from me. Okay? So he's putting tension in that rope. I'm just going to ask him to change directions here. Okay? Now, a lot of people start yanking on his head, but you see right here, there's no tension on that rope. It's all slack. Go to this side. See the tension that kind of pops into it. It's not that big a deal, but it is. It is. Okay, he's still bracy, is what that's telling me. And a lot of times, what people do whenever you start pulling on that rope a little bit, they'll yank back on that rope, pull their head, get off the rope, get off the rope. You know, yeah, it works eventually. Sometimes it takes 3-4 sessions. Sometimes it takes a week. But the horse is always kind of, they don't, it's hard to get them to melt, okay? I like them to melt. So what I do to get them to come to me or to get them to stop pulling that rope is just that. See how he was pulling? I just pulled him to me and called him into me. I just got him to draw to me, okay? So what I'll do is I'll send him, and if he starts pulling on it, see what he does. See how he's pulling on it? I ask him to come in, and I just see I'm backing away from him. Pull his head, bump him just a little, but not hard, and just draw him to me. I just draw him to me. Now, he knows to come to me already because he knows how to lead. You see, if you don't teach him to lead, then if you skip that step, this is hard to do with them. That's why it's important to do all these things that I've done, and in the order that I'm doing it, because it prepares them for other things. But if all this horse was halter broke, this would be much harder to do. Okay, but he has been taught to lead. He knows the best thing to do is to come into me. So when his motion gets high, I just kind of bump and say, hey, come on in. And you see right there, I asked him to leave, and then he stopped. But what he did is he tightened the rope up, and then he come off of it and stop. I just gave that to him because he come off of the rope. Okay? He's not pulling on it with his head. There. He come off of it on his own. I drew it, let him go ahead and draw to me, and I'm just asking him to change directions. If you notice, I'm backing up because I want him to keep, I want him to draw to me. I want to keep that draw. See, on this side, slacken the rope. Turn the other way, and he starts to get a little bracy. But you see how much better he's doing now. You see I'm backing up just a little bit. I'm drawing him to me. I'm going to ask him to keep going this time. Before, he just kind of took it on himself to stop and come to me. I asked him to keep on going, and then I stopped him and drew him to me. Good. Okay, not perfect, but a lot better. And again, I'm not going to get too demanding with these guys. Okay, they're learning. All right. A lot of times, if you're really having to get onto these horses, it's mainly because either you didn't prepare them for what you're asking them to do, or you did it wrong. I mean, that's all there is to it. Most horses aren't stupid. Now, you do have, a very small percentage of them that does have mental, they were born with mental issues, but most horses are capable of learning, the overwhelming vast majority. Now, I'm going to get ready. I want to get on this horse today, okay? And so that's what I'm preparing him for. I'm just getting a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger. He's starting to stiffen up a little bit. I felt him stiffening up, so I untracked him some, asked him to move. And see how he's not giving me his head? I'm going to stop trying to get on him right now. I have to get his head. If you don't get his head, control of that head, you're not going to be able to control the hindquarters, okay? And what it is that they become bracy against that. He'll turn his head to the opposite side that you're on, and then swing his hindquarters over to you and try to leave. And when he tries to leave, he may kick you when you come by, or he might just knock you down. Either way, it's not a good thing. So you need to have control of that nose of that horse. And right now what he's doing is he's getting bracy. He's not giving me control of that nose. And that all stems back to all this other, to preparing him for it. One of the things that the lady had told me about this horse is that he didn't want to give his head. Whenever they were riding him, he just did not give his head very well. And a lot of it is the breed, and a lot of it is this right here. He just wasn't taught. They didn't spend enough time on him giving his head. And that's just my opinion. I might be totally wrong. They might have had to sit 3 months on the horse, and the horse might not be able to learn, but I don't think that's the case. Because he's giving his head real nice, or he's starting to. Last session, he gave it pretty good. It's just started getting a little bit, whenever I started trying to get on him, he got nervous. and then he got bracy. His emotions went up and he got bracy. Again, this horse is, he's not really an emotional type horse. So what he does is he'll get emotional. And you see right there how he stepped towards me, he almost stepped on my foot. And I need him. As soon as he did it, I need him. If he does it again, I'm gonna see I need him again. It doesn't look like it, but I'm kneading pretty hard. I don't want him stepping on me, okay? That's a no-no. You don't bite, you don't kick, you don't step on me. See, he kind of moved in towards me again. But again, a horse that's dominant and that is a little bit more aggressive will, they'll get real pushy, and they'll physically push you around, and that's what this kind of is starting into. Now he's a little bit confused on what. Well, I don't know if he's confused or not, but given his head, he didn't want to really give me his head. He was just going to try to turn around with his front end. But I was so close to him that for him to do that, he would have to step on me, and that's not acceptable. Okay. You need to understand, just give me your head, don't step on me. You see now he's giving his head a little bit and he's leaving his front end still. Around the other side. I'm gonna wait till he starts to give it to me. And you notice I'm not yanking on his head. I don't want to have to pull real hard on his head, okay? 3 to 5 pounds of pressure. Now just hold it. There, give it to me, I hold it again, give it to me, good. Give it to me, good. Okay. Now you see he's not really curling his head down and really giving it to me. He's still a little bracy, but that's okay. There he goes. Now he'd really give it to me. Okay. And then I cued him, asking him to turn his flanks. Just put my hand on his ribs like I was doing before. Good. Give me his head, turn his flanks towards me, left his front end where it's supposed to be. Good. Give me a little bit. I'm just going to drift with him. See how he stepped back towards me? I need him again. Don't do that. That's being passive aggressive. He's like, I can just ease over there and step on you if I want. There he goes. And I asked him to give his hindquarters. He did. And he walked around me. He didn't walk into me. Got his head, ask him again. Yeah, give me his hindquarters, good. Didn't step in towards me, good. So, we're gonna start all over again. Now we can go back to what we were doing. Untrack him a little bit. Now we're back, okay. Got him softened up a little bit. Okay, now you see how I jumped a few times and I pulled him into me. I'm just reinforcing him giving me his head, okay? and I want him to stay still. And what I'm basically doing, I'm just petting him with my whole body, okay? If you can't actually jump up all the way on him and get on, then you want to at least kind of get on him a quarter of the way, and just rub all over him, okay? If that's as much as you can do is what I just did, that's fine. Just do it all over him, okay? And then after they're standing really, really, really good for that, then I would go get a mounting block, put it on the side and do it all over again. Get them standing by that mounting block and get on. But being 6'3", got an advantage. I don't have to do that. Some of you 5'2" ladies may need to do that with these tall horses. And I'm just waddling all over them. Get on one side, get off the other. And again, you just keep it relaxed. I'm not picking a fight with this horse. I could have very easily. Okay, now he's wanting to leave. And there he goes, he's going away from me. So that's why I needed him to give me his head, okay? You don't want to just stay on until they start bucking. And if you notice, I didn't stop. I got off, retract him, turned him to me, and got right back on, okay? But the thing is that I didn't stay on until he took off running. He was just about to run. He was just about to say, I have got to leave. And I got off, pulled him into me, and went straight back onto him. That's why I do this without a saddle. That's why I get on him the first time without a saddle. It's just for that reason. It's easy to get off of him with a bareback. It's really hard to get off of him like that and jump right back on if you have a saddle on him. And doing it this way, you're rubbing your body all over them, and you have a lot better result than you would if you was just getting on them for the first time with the saddle, because they don't feel your body all over them. See if we can do it on this side again. He's kind of apprehensive. He thinks he needs to leave. I give him a little reaction time before I just jumped off. He decided he could stand still. Good boy. Really good. I want him to really soak that up and remember that. He made a good decision. He was thinking about leaving, but he decided not to. That's really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end the session right there. That's a really good place to end it. I want him thinking about that. Because like I said, he tried to leave the one before, and then he thought about leaving, and he didn't. So that's going to be good. So again, if you're liking these videos, just like and subscribe, share them with your friends, and have a good day.